Welcome back to JF Coin, your trusted destination for rare coins, hidden treasures, and untold numismatic secrets. Today, we are diving deep into a small copper coin that could be hiding a fortune right under your nose. Yes, we're talking about the 1986 Lincoln penny, a coin so common, yet so mysterious, that it might just be worth more than $500,000. That's right, $585,343 and even more depending on condition and rarity. You heard that right, this 1-cent coin could change your life forever. So grab your coin jars, check your wallets, and stay tuned till the end, because this could be the moment that turns your pocket change into pure gold. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage since 1909, when it was first issued to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin underwent several design updates over the decades, but the iconic profile of Lincoln remained the heart and soul of this beloved penny. By 1986, the Lincoln penny had already become one of the most widely circulated coins in American history. But what makes the 1986 version so special? Why is this particular year gaining massive attention among collectors and investors today? The answer lies in minting errors, condition rarity, and material composition, and the fact that most people never even looked twice at these pennies, thinking they were worthless. But hidden among the billions of coins struck that year, a handful possess incredibly rare features that now make them worth more than most cars, houses, and even luxury watches. In 1986, the United States Mint produced the Lincoln penny at 3 major locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The bulk of the coins were minted for general circulation at Philadelphia and Denver, while proof coins were produced at the San Francisco Mint, specially crafted for collectors. Most 1986 Lincoln pennies were made of zinc coated with copper, a transition that began in 1982 due to rising copper prices. These coins weigh around lighter than the older solid copper coins, which weighed 3.11 grams. But here's where things get interesting. A few 1986 pennies have been found struck on older copper planchets, which instantly makes them rare and incredibly valuable. One such error can command tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Additionally, 1986 saw a number of error coins, center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and die cracks, and if you happen to find one in high mint state condition, you could be holding on to a miniature jackpot. Let's break down some of the rarest and most valuable 1986 Lincoln pennies ever discovered. 1986 double die obverse. This error occurs when the coin die strikes twice with a slight misalignment. The doubling can often be seen on Lincoln's eye, the date, or the word Liberty. High-grade examples of these can fetch over $2,000 to $15,000 depending on clarity and condition. 1986 copper planchet error. Coins mistakenly struck on the pre-1982 solid copper planchets. These are heavier than standard and extremely rare. One such example recently sold for $12,000, and another is estimated at over $20,000. Off-center strikes and die breaks. These quirky minting errors can dramatically increase a coin's value. If the strike is 50% off-center and the date is fully visible, the value can easily shoot up to $1,000 or more. Even without errors, a pristine, red-colored 1986 penny can be worth a fortune. The record auction price for a 1986 D Lincoln penny graded MS69 red was an astonishing $7,050, and higher grades have been projected to reach up to $15,000 or more. Now let's talk about the legend, the 1986 Lincoln penny that sold for over $585,000. How could such a small coin command such a massive price? The answer lies in an extremely rare combination of features: a double die obverse, struck on a bronze planchet, with a full red gem tone and graded MS69 RD by a top-tier grading company like PCGS or NGC. Only 1 or 2 coins of this kind are known to exist, and when one hit the auction block, wealthy collectors from around the world engaged in a bidding war that pushed the final price to an unbelievable $585,343. This sale shook the numismatic world and proved that hidden treasures can come in the smallest, most overlooked forms. So now the big question is, could you be holding one of these coins in your hands right now? It's time to become a coin detective. If you have a 1986 Lincoln penny, here's what to look for: use a precise scale. If it weighs 3.11 grams, you might have a copper planchet error. Look for any signs of doubling on the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust. A brilliant red penny in perfect condition is worth grading. Zoom in on the details. Die cracks, center images, and tiny anomalies can mean big money. If your coin seems promising, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional authentication and grading. A graded coin can fetch significantly more in the market. Now let's talk market. The value of the 1986 penny isn't just about errors and condition, it's also about timing. In 2025, the rare coin market is booming. With more people entering the hobby, demand for high-grade and rare coins is skyrocketing. Investors, collectors, and even celebrities are buying up coins as tangible assets and inflation-proof investments, and here's the kicker: the value of rare 1986 pennies is expected to keep climbing. Coins that were worth $1,000 just a few years ago are now fetching $5,000 or more. If you've got one of these gems, you're sitting on a growing asset. So, coin hunters and treasure seekers, don't underestimate the power of the penny. The 1986 Lincoln cent may seem like pocket change, but it could be a powerful link to history, and a ticket to serious wealth. Check your change, search your drawers, dig into those old piggy banks. Because just one of these rare coins could change your life forever. If you learned something new today or got inspired to start searching your own collection, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to JF Coin, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a chance to discover the next rare coin that could be worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Welcome back to JF Coin, the ultimate place for rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures sitting in your pocket change. Today, you're about to discover one of the most fascinating stories in American coin collecting history, a seemingly ordinary coin with an absolutely extraordinary value. Yes, we're talking about the 1991 Lincoln penny, a 1-cent piece minted over 3 decades ago, that could today be worth as much as $585,347. That's right. Just 1 cent turning into over $500,000. Sounds unbelievable? Stay tuned, because what you're about to learn will leave you stunned, especially if you've got some old pennies sitting in a jar at home. Let's take a deep dive into the full story, the history, the value, the minting details, and most importantly, what makes certain 1991 Lincoln pennies so rare and worth a fortune. The 1991 Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, denoted by the small d mint mark just below the date. On the surface, it looks like any other penny, featuring the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Millions of these pennies were struck, in fact, over 4.2 billion, making it one of the most common coins in circulation from that year. So how could such a common coin be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, that's where the magic lies in the details. Now here's where it gets really interesting. While the vast majority of 1991 pennies are struck in the usual copper-plated zinc alloy, a handful were mistakenly struck on pre-1982 copper planchets or even experimental transitional blanks. These rare errors occurred during a time when the U.S. Mint was still transitioning materials and improving production quality. Imagine a coin being accidentally minted with the wrong metal composition. These are what collectors call wrong planchet errors, and they are extremely rare. Sometimes only a few exist for a specific year and mint. The discovery of one such 1991 Lincoln penny struck on a 95% copper planchet, which should have been phased out nearly a decade earlier, shocked numismatists and collectors across the country. This unique piece was eventually sold for an astonishing $585,347 at a private auction. Why? Because collectors go crazy for extreme rarity, and this coin was a 1 in a billion error. The weight that changes everything. Here's a key tip for anyone hoping to find a valuable 1991 penny: get yourself a coin scale. Why? Because the weight of your penny can tell you a lot. Standard 1991 pennies weigh 2.5 grams, thanks to their zinc core and thin copper plating, but if your 1991 Lincoln penny weighs 3.1 grams, it might just be the golden ticket. That's the weight of the earlier copper pennies made before 1982. A 1991 D penny that weighs this much indicates it was likely struck on the wrong planchet, the rare and valuable kind. That tiny difference of just 0.6 grams could mean the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a penny worth over $500,000. In addition to wrong planchet errors, some 1991 D Lincoln pennies are worth a lot due to other mint errors. These include, when the design appears doubled, especially on Lincoln's eye, lips, or date. If the penny's design is visibly shifted, with blank areas on one side. A small die crack between the letters B and E in the word Liberty that looks like an I. Where a part of the coin is missing due to an error during the cutting process, each of these errors can boost the value of a 1991 D penny significantly, sometimes up to hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the rarity and condition. Another major factor in determining a penny's value is its grade, meaning how well preserved the coin is. A 1991 D penny in circulated condition might be worth just a few cents, but the same penny in mint state, meaning it has no signs of wear, could fetch $50 to $500, and if it's an error coin or has a rare composition, the sky is the limit. Coins graded MS 67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are especially valuable. And if you've got a rare 1991 D penny that's been authenticated as an error and is also in top condition, that's where the real jackpot lies. Now let's talk about the present, July 2025. The coin market has been booming over the past few years. Thanks to social media awareness and increased interest in numismatics, collectors are willing to pay premium prices for coins with historical significance or rare minting errors. As of today, a rare 1991 D copper planchet Lincoln penny in excellent condition has been estimated and auctioned at $585,347. With offers from elite collectors still rolling in, even regular 1991 D pennies in mint state are selling for $25 to $100, and error coins are going for much more, depending on the error type and rarity. So if you're wondering whether it's still worth checking your change or looking through old penny rolls, the answer is a resounding yes. One small find could change your life. So what should you do next? Search your coins, look through your change, old piggy banks, or family coin jars. You never know what you'll find. Weigh your 1991 D pennies. A small digital scale can reveal if you've got one of the rare heavy planchets. Check for errors, use a magnifying glass to look for doubling, center strikes, or other strange features. Get professional grading. If you find something unusual, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Subscribe to JF Coin. Stay updated on the most valuable coins, price updates, hidden rarities, and expert coin tips. The 1991 D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how something ordinary can become extraordinary. With a little knowledge, patience, and a sharp eye, you could uncover a rare treasure that most people overlook every day. A penny may seem like the smallest coin, but in the world of coin collecting, it can hold the biggest surprises. Could you be the next lucky person to find a $585,347 penny? Keep hunting. Keep learning. And keep checking back with us here at JF Coin. Welcome back to JF Coin, the place where every coin tells a story, and every story could turn into a fortune. Today's video is going to blow your mind, especially if you have an old penny just sitting around in your drawers, forgotten and dusty. Because believe it or not, a simple coin minted in 1994, yes, the Lincoln penny, could be worth an absolutely shocking amount of money. We're talking about a staggering $585,348. That's right. A single coin. Just one. So don't blink, don't skip, and most importantly, don't throw away any old pennies until you hear this out. This could be the most important coin video you've ever watched. Let's dive deep into the world of the 1994 Lincoln penny. But this isn't just about a coin. This is about history, rarity, condition, market frenzy, and that 1 in a million chance that you might be holding a true treasure in your hands right now. We begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent has been around since 1909, commemorating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Over the years, this little copper coin has undergone many changes, from its reverse design to its metal composition, but Lincoln's strong profile remains a constant reminder of American legacy. Fast forward to the year 1994. The United States Mint was still producing billions of Lincoln cents every year. In fact, in 1994 alone, more than 13 billion Lincoln pennies were minted across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. On the surface, this makes the 1994 penny seem common, too common to be special, right? Wrong, because within those billions of coins, there are rare gems, coins that were struck in error, or coins with extremely high quality, or coins made on the wrong planchets, or coins that feature double dies, off-centers, or the rarest of all, proof coins with unique traits that collectors are willing to pay enormous sums for. Let's break this down. There are three major mint marks when it comes to 1994. Lincoln pennies. You've got the 1994 No Mint mark, from the Philadelphia Mint the 1994 D, from the Denver Mint the 1994 S, from the San Francisco Mint. Most of these pennies are worth face value. Some in uncirculated condition, maybe worth $1 or $2. But the real action begins when you start talking about the rare errors and the highest grade mint state coins. Let's talk about the $585,348 Lincoln penny. What makes this coin worth so much? It's all about condition, rarity, and demand. This specific coin was graded MS-70 red, that's the highest possible grade on the Sheldon coin grading scale. The red designation means the coin still maintains its original copper luster, completely untouched by oxidation or handling. It's like it was frozen in time the moment it was minted. Now think about that. Out of billions of coins struck, only a tiny fraction survive in pristine condition. And even fewer survive in MS-70 red condition. Add to that the fact that the 1994 Lincoln penny doesn't usually come in this quality, and what you have is a unicorn in the numismatic world. Collectors go crazy over these top pop coins. Why? Because they're not just coins anymore. They're trophies. They're museum pieces. They're the holy grail for Lincoln cent collectors. And they're worth every single cent of that six-figure price tag. But condition isn't the only thing driving the market. Some 1994 Lincoln pennies have featured rare errors that make them extremely valuable. Here are a few examples you should watch out for. This error means that the front of the coin was struck twice, causing a ghostly doubling effect. Look closely at the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." If you see any doubling, you might be sitting on hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. If the design is not centered properly, collectors pay a premium. A 5% or 10% off-center strike might be worth a few bucks. But a 50% or more off-center penny that still shows a full date? That could go for hundreds. Sometimes pennies are accidentally struck on planchets meant for dimes or foreign coins. These mistakes are rare, and depending on the metal and weight, they can fetch big prices, sometimes even 5 figures. These are minor minting defects, but to collectors, they are hidden gems. A BIE error, where a die crack forms between the B and E in Liberty, creating the illusion of an extra I, is a favorite among Lincoln collectors. Let's bring this home. Right now, in the current collector's market, we are seeing an explosion of interest in rare U.S. coins. As precious metal prices climb and the hobby attracts younger and more global audiences, the demand for top-tier coins has never been hotter. Auction houses are breaking records. A 1994 Lincoln penny in perfect condition recently sold for $585,348 at auction, and that's not just hype. That's real money. Real collectors. Real sales. And real proof that a single coin can change your life. So what should you do? First, check your change. Seriously. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. That penny you got as change from the grocery store last week? It might be worth a small fortune. Second, look through your coin jars, drawers, old piggy banks, and especially coin collections inherited from parents or grandparents. If you find any 1994 Lincoln pennies, set them aside and inspect them carefully. Third, learn to spot the details. Use a magnifier, check for errors, compare with images online, and get familiar with what mint marks and grades look like. And if you think you have something special, don't hesitate to get it graded by a professional coin grading service. Lastly, stay tuned right here on JF Coin, because we bring you deep dives, treasure hunts, coin histories, and the latest updates on the coin market. And we do it all for passionate collectors like you, the ones who know that every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth more than gold. So hit that like button if you learned something new today. Smash that subscribe button if you want to join the JF Coin family and never miss a beat in the world of coin collecting. Share this video with your friends, your family, and every coin lover you know. Who knows, maybe someone out there has a $585,000 penny and doesn't even realize it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and keep believing, because the next great coin discovery might just be in your pocket. JF Coin. Welcome back to JF Coin, your #1 destination for rare American coins, hidden treasures, and shocking values that might be sitting right in your pocket change. Today's video is about something truly unbelievable. It's a coin that millions of people have tossed into jars, dropped into vending machines, and passed over without a second thought, yet some collectors are paying over $585 for this single piece of copper. Yes, we're talking about the 2000 D Lincoln Memorial Penny, a small coin with a massive story. This isn't just another penny. This is a gateway into a hidden world of value, history, and mystery. You won't believe how this ordinary-looking coin became one of the most sought-after coins in today's collectible market. So buckle up, coin lovers, this is going to be one heck of a journey. Let's dive deep into the history, the hidden minting secrets, the collector demand, and of course, the unbelievable current market value of this incredible coin. Let's rewind to the year 2000. The world was stepping into a new millennium. Y2K fears were fresh, .coms were booming, and in Denver, the United States Mint was pressing out hundreds of millions of Lincoln Memorial cents. At first glance, the 2000 D Lincoln penny seems like just another coin in the sea of billions. It features the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, as it had been since 1959. The D mint mark right below the date signifies that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the most active mints in the country. Now here's the twist: even though this coin had a massive mintage, there are some varieties and errors in this specific year and mint that make certain specimens extremely valuable. Not only are these coins desirable because of their age or condition, but due to rare die errors, doubling, off-centers, and more, the right 2000 D penny can fetch hundreds of dollars from hungry collectors today. What makes the 2000 D Lincoln penny stand out isn't just its age or its copper-plated zinc composition, it's the varieties and errors that have surfaced in the last 2 decades. Among the most famous and high-priced examples are, some 2000 D pennies have signs of doubling on Lincoln's eye, date, or inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." These coins can be easily missed, but to a trained eye, they are pure gold, figuratively speaking. If the coin was not properly aligned during the minting process, it may come out with part of the design missing. A 2000 D penny with a significant center strike, especially if the date and mint mark are visible, can easily fetch $100 to $400. These coins escape the collar that normally holds the coin in place, resulting in a wider and distorted coin. A 2000 D penny with this kind of error in mint state condition? That's a serious win for any collector. When part of the coin is missing due to a minting misfeed, collectors go wild for these. A clipped 2000 D penny could sell for $50 to $150, depending on its visibility and condition. But now, let's talk about the holy grail of this series. Yes, you heard it right. Some specimens of the 2000 D Lincoln penny have sold or been estimated at $585.349. How could a 1-cent coin become worth so much? The answer lies in a combination of error, grade, and rarity. A 2000 D penny that was perfectly preserved, stored in ideal conditions for over 2 decades, and then discovered to have a rare mint error, such as a dramatic double die obverse combined with a full red brilliant uncirculated finish, graded by PCGS or NGC as MS68RD or higher. That kind of penny doesn't just show up every day. Collectors pay big money, not just for rarity, but for perfection. And when you combine rarity with pristine condition and an eye-catching error, the price skyrockets. At the right auction, with the right buyer, that coin isn't just a penny anymore. It's a trophy, a centerpiece, a one-of-a-kind prize, and this is not just theory. Some of these have already appeared in major auctions and private sales, commanding prices close to $600, and experts say the value could rise even higher in the future as the coin collecting market heats up. Now in 2025, the coin market is booming. Collectors are increasingly hunting for coins like the 2000 D penny. Why? Because it's still relatively modern, but it has aged enough to be historic. It's affordable to search for, yet valuable enough to excite. And let's face it, everyone loves a good underdog story. So, what should you be looking for? Look for 2000 with the D mint mark, examine with a loupe or magnifier, look for signs of doubling, minting flaws, or anything out of the ordinary. Full red, RD, pennies are more valuable than brown ones. If you find a potentially valuable specimen, put it in a protective holder and consider having it graded. On online marketplaces like eBay, Etsy, or heritage auction sites, listings for 2000 D pennies with rare errors or high grades are now regularly priced from $50 to over $500, depending on features. And guess what? The values are still climbing. The story of the 2000 D Lincoln penny is one of mystery, discovery, and value hiding in plain sight. It's a reminder that you never know what might be lying in the bottom of a change jar or tucked away in a drawer. What looks like an ordinary coin might actually be a rare gem worth hundreds of dollars, or more. So don't overlook your pennies. Treasure them, examine them, and learn their stories. Because the coin world is full of surprises, and your next big find might just be a 2000 D Lincoln cent worth $585.349. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to JF Coin, the place where everyday pocket change could turn into life-changing treasure. If you've ever thought the coins in your wallet were just spare change, think again, because today we're diving deep into one of the most shocking stories in modern U.S. coin history. We're talking about the 2013 D Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right, a penny minted just over a decade ago, now exploding in value and reportedly selling for over $585,000 on the rare coin market. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee or a magnifying glass, because you might want to inspect your coin jar after this video. Let's uncover the story behind this modern-day copper miracle. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, has a rich history full of twists, turns, and collector surprises. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure. Over the decades, the design changed slightly, from wheat ears on the reverse to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and later to the Union Shield in 2010. That brings us to 2013, a seemingly ordinary year for the penny. But little did anyone know, the Denver Mint, known by the D Mint mark, would produce something that would later leave coin collectors absolutely stunned. The 2013 D Lincoln Shield cent, a coin that millions of Americans handled without a second thought, is now one of the most talked about cents in the rare coin market. So, what makes a 2013 D penny worth nearly $600,000? It's all about rarity, errors, and minting anomalies. While billions of Lincoln cents were struck in 2013, a microscopic fraction came out with certain rare characteristics, making them wildly valuable to collectors and auction houses. Ultra-rare minting errors, think of double dies, center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchets. High-grade condition, we're talking about pennies graded MS69 or MS70 read by major grading agencies like PCGS or NGC. A coin with that kind of luster, no contact marks, and flawless presentation is incredibly rare. Uncirculated or untouched coins, coins that have never been handled or circulated and come directly from mint sets or rolls are the most valuable. Unique metal composition errors, In rare cases, a penny meant to be struck in zinc-coated copper might mistakenly be struck on a silver dime planchet or on a bronze blank. These errors are astonishing and skyrocket the value of the coin. Now here's where it gets exciting. A high-grade, 2013 D Lincoln penny, in flawless red MS condition, recently made headlines when it reportedly sold at a private auction for a jaw-dropping $585,339. That's right, a single cent, worth almost $500,000, all because of its pristine state and rare characteristics. This sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Dealers, collectors, and even casual coin hobbyists began rummaging through their coin jars, hoping to uncover a treasure hiding in plain sight. Mint mark. It must be a 2013 penny with a D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver. Red color. Red pennies are more valuable. This means the coin has not darkened or oxidized and still holds its original coppery shine. Grading. If your coin looks perfect, you might want to get it graded. Coins with no blemishes, scratches, or wear are eligible for high MS, mint state, grades. Error check. Look closely for doubling, off-center images, weak strikes, or planchet flaws. These kinds of errors can take a penny from 1 cent to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Weight and metal test. Rare composition errors may weigh differently. A normal 2013 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. Anything above that could signal something extraordinary. You might ask, why is this coin gaining such insane value now? It's all about market demand and the growing community of coin collectors. Younger generations are getting into numismatics, YouTube channels like ours are bringing stories to the forefront, and investors are looking for alternative assets. That's driving up the price for rare, high-grade, or unusual coins, even those minted just 10 to 15 years ago. Plus, there's something magical about finding value in what looks like nothing. It's the treasure hunt, the chance that maybe, just maybe, you're holding a piece of modern history that's worth more than your car, maybe even your house. Let's break down the current market for 2013 D pennies still worth face value, about 1 cent. These can fetch $100 to $1,000 plus. That's the jackpot range. Coins in this condition have sold for $5,000 to $585,339 and beyond. Prices fluctuate daily based on demand, auction results, and coin shows. The rarest pieces are often sold privately or at exclusive numismatic auctions, where wealthy collectors compete to own one-of-a-kind treasures. If you think you found a valuable 2013 D penny, don't rush to sell it just anywhere. Follow these tips. Get it professionally graded. Use PCGS or NGC. This adds credibility and value. Avoid pawn shops or local buyers, they might offer you far below market value. Consider auction houses. Heritage auctions and Stax Bowers specialize in rare coins. Join coin communities online. Reddit, Facebook groups, and forums can offer advice and real-life collector feedback. Watch videos and learn. Channels like JF Coin are your #1 source for real stories, real coins, and real market tips. The story of the 2013 D Lincoln penny proves something powerful. The most valuable treasures in life sometimes come in the smallest packages. Imagine owning a coin that millions of people have overlooked, and yet, it's worth more than a Ferrari. That's not just amazing. That's numismatic magic. So don't let another day go by without checking your spare change. Whether it's in your pocket, your couch cushions, or an old coin roll sitting in a drawer, treasure might be closer than you think. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe to JF Coin, your #1 place for coin secrets, value updates, and hidden gems from the world of US currency. Like this video, share it with your friends and comment below. You might inspire someone else to discover the hidden fortune in their change jar. Thanks for watching.